doing this morning? Sarge, I was just talking to the commissioner. She said, man, not only did you do a great presentation, but she couldn't get you to shut up. So thank you for that last night. If you want to, just before we get started, just give an overview to the folks that are here what you guys did last night. You just want to tell them.
Right now?
Yeah, good.
Last night we met with Commissioner Marissa, and we spoke about the opioid problem that we have nationwide, basically, but we spoke mainly about Deltona and Volusia County. Just hit on topics of trends, what we've been doing to combat this issue that we've been having. And then they also spoke about the rehab and they get people help for people that are users that want to get off of it. It was a productive night.
It was. And I just want to add that a lot of people left, made comments of how much comfortable they feel knowing that we have, your staff out there. They didn't even know that we had undercovers around the city until last night's presentation. Some of them didn't even know that we have cameras in our parks. So they walked away with a lot of information they were not aware of. Thanks to you.
Hopefully they spread it.
Hopefully they spread it. And they also weren't aware that they can make a complaint, file a complaint, any ideas or dealings or something online without having to leave any names or anything like that.
Right.
So thank you very much. Like I said, I had a problem to shut up.
You guys didn't do that.
We did.
Okay, so you guys are replying that, so maybe we should push that out.
Talk to Catherine. You know, PR.
Okay. Maybe that's a good idea to push that out that way.
Yeah, but he did an awesome job.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Kat, let's talk a little bit about Deltona. Or actually, what I will do first is I'll let you guys talk about the great detective work for the shooting that occurred on Timbercrest from February. How you guys worked that so hard. So, who's got that?
Yeah. I can take it over. Yes, sir. And, you need to turn this on?
Yeah, turn it on to right here.
Is it on?
It's on.
Pardon me, as a suggestion, would you mind identifying yourself so we know who's speaking?
Go ahead.
Sure. My name is Chad Weaver. I'm the sergeant of the Deltona Detectives Unit, Property Crimes.
Thank you.
So this case was a shooting. It occurred in February of this year. A 16-year-old was laying in bed with his niece. While sleeping, unknown suspect or suspects shot through the front window of the house and struck him in his arm, barely missing the 3-year-old niece. In the beginning, we didn't have anything to go off of. There was very little evidence. Detective Barrett was assigned the case. She did a fantastic job with follow-up, using cameras, our license plate readers, the flock cameras that we've gotten, local businesses, video surveillance. She was able to identify a suspect vehicle. As we conducted several more interviews, we developed a person of interest. We were able to tie that suspect vehicle to that person. The case kind of slowed down for a while. We weren't getting a lot of cooperation out of anybody really tracking down known associates, persons of interest. It wasn't until several months later that a traffic homicide occurred in the city of Daytona Beach. During that investigation, our suspect was the only one to survive. A firearm was recovered from the vehicle. We did ballistics testing on that firearm. It came back to a match to the bullet that was fired into the house and struck our victim. Then we did several historical cell phone search warrants and multiple other investigative databases, and we were able to put the suspect, who is, let me see, I have his name here, Miguel Miranda. He was an 18-year-old. He had 8 felony charges, no convictions from Deltona. We were able to put him in the area at the time of the shooting. So he was arrested last night with the help of the Deltona Crime Suppression Team.
Great job. I think it goes to illustrate, again, you have people coming in from Sanford or Orlando. Here you got a person coming over from Daytona, who was, you probably remember, they were speeding down International Speedway Boulevard like 4 o'clock in the morning. He lost control, hit a light pole, killed everybody in the car, killed himself. So that was really great follow-up on that. Good stuff. All right, Captain, you can go right into it.
All right, so you want to go to the traffic stats first, or would you like?
Go ahead, talk about your traffic stats.
All right, so to bring into the summer, we initiated a traffic operation the first 4 days
June 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. During that time frame, sadly, 2 of the days, the end days, got rained out half the time. Didn't stop the progress. So during that, we brought in extra deputies, extra traffic units for this operation. And I'd like to touch on the fact that these aren't units that the city of Deltona pays for. These are other county deputies that we bring in to help. So that's another thing that the citizens of Deltona get with the sheriff's office, is that extra resources. And I really want to come in and focus on this because I know traffic concerns are extremely high in the city regarding crashes, THIs, and so on. So total, there were 596 traffic stops conducted. This is just for the units. This was not regular patrol deputies, because they're still doing traffic stops. They're still doing their job day to day. This is not counting what their numbers would have been added to it. 673 traffic citations were issued. 99 warnings were issued. 35 arrests were made, 1 DUI, and they handled about 14 crashes. That was just within 4 days, really kind of 3 days when you take away those rain days. Throughout the entire month, not including these numbers, our traffic unit also wrote an additional 427 citations with 93 warnings, 4 parking citations, and handled 44 crashes. So given that traffic is extremely a topic of discussion, I want to make sure that we hit that, and we're hitting it hard throughout the summer. So we see blue lights everywhere, and people who are blatantly violating traffic laws are dealt with accordingly.
Very good.
That brings us into our crimes. So the first crime, we have an arson on West Covington. The suspect came with an improvised incendiary device and lit it through his parents' window, which then detonated. This was given to CID for further investigation.
Yes, sir. We believe that this stemmed over a family dispute. The victim's son was a primary suspect. We did have a witness that saw a vehicle approach the house and saw somebody get out of the vehicle, kind of lost sight of them. Next thing you know, the house is on fire. Using, again, our tag readers, a lot of our surveillance video from neighbors, also video that we have throughout the city, we're able to identify the vehicle. He was tied and found to be an associate and friend of the initial suspect. They were out of Winter Park in Sanford. We located the vehicle, conducted a search warrant, found some evidence, did some historical cell phone stuff. We were able to tie actually the friend to the area and arrested him as he was the one that threw the device through the window. Charges are still pending on the second suspect.
It was really good police work, and I think you should know that Captain Powers is also the commander of our bomb squad. So that's a whole separate investigation into the tequila bottle that was converted into a Molotov cocktail that his end had with the ATF to bring more charges. You guys did a really good job on this. It was closed pretty quickly, tracking this guy down.
And another thing, we also have other deputies in the city that are assigned to the city of Deltona that are on the bomb squad as well. So when this happened, I was able to send them there, just drive time from where they were within the city to go give us an update so we can get resources there almost immediately. So it's working out very well.
Good.
Next, we have an auto theft. The victim left her residence at approximately 08 in the morning, parked a vehicle in front of the home. Around 45 minutes later, she was notified that the vehicle was stolen. This was given to CID for further investigation.
We recovered the vehicle and we made 2 arrests. One of the females that we arrested, she was also responsible for breaking into several cars in the area. And the captain's going to touch on all the cases in a little bit. We arrested another female who is related to that female who was driving the vehicle at that time. I want to touch again on the fact that a lot of residents leave their cars unlocked, in this case with the keys in it. So it makes it really easy for criminals to steal your stuff and steal your car. So please, let's spread out the word to your neighbors and your friends. Lock your cars and lock your doors.
You want to talk about who you are?
My name is...
You can say no.
name is Julian Almazi. I'm a detective sergeant, property crimes as well. I guess Detective Wheeler is replacing me. But no, he's the person's crime detective. I'm a property crimes sergeant.
I hear it so much.
Right. You hear him say it, but not hear it the other way around.
All right, next we have auto theft on section line. The victim left the keys in the car overnight and woke up, the vehicle was stolen. This vehicle was actually recovered in South Carolina, demolished. There's no suspects on scene at the time. An auto theft attempt.
And to get to Julian's point, this is another one where the keys were left in the vehicle.
Keys were left in the vehicle. Most of the auto thefts we have are keys being left in the vehicle. Auto theft attempt on Anderson. The victim emerged from the residence and heard muffled voices coming from around his vehicle. He later observed the vehicle was running. Deputies were able to set up a perimeter, get out there, and they were able to identify 4 suspects, and they were later charged and arrested for attempted vehicle theft. We have a burglary residence on South Seagate.
And all those suspects were Deltona residents.
Yes.
All juveniles. Elmer's arrested 23 times. Harrison 11 times for 11, and Brendan 12 times. And like I said, all were local kids.
Next burglary residence on South Seagate. The victim reported that she was in the shower when she heard a noise. Upon coming outside, she noticed an unknown individual. The suspect forcefully pushed the table into the victim before quickly fleeing the scene. This was TOT'd over to CIA.
At this point, we don't have any suspects. This was assigned to the person's crimes unit due to it being a burglary with battery. It was occupied. The victim was inside her house. It was late at night. She was in the shower. Heard some noises, came out, saw an unidentified male. He immediately fled the residence after seeing her. Video surveillance, really don't have much to go on him. One thing that we did, we checked all the sex offenders, we checked our people on probation, our career criminals. None of them matched the description. We believe that this was an accidental occupied burglary. The house had sat vacant for several months. The family had just moved in from out of state. The house is dark, there's no cars in the vehicle. She, described him as being very scared and startled when he came out. So we don't think that there's someone going around just trying to attack residents inside their home, but the case is still active.
Next burglary residence on East Gloria. The victim obtained video footage of 2 juvenile black males in her home. Deputies were contacted, and these suspects were later arrested. They have minimal criminal history. They are citizens of the city. Next burglary residence on Sable Avenue. The victim noticed that her front door was slightly ajar and had been forced open. This was listed as a burglary. However, the crime report from the previous month also had several of these kick-in front doors. There was a TikTok challenge going on that just going up to random houses, kicking the door open and running away. This appears to be one of those. We don't have any further leads on this. There were no surveillance, no fingerprints, because we believe it was just kicked open and they ran off.
It's a good way to get shot and killed.
It is a very good way to do that. So hopefully this trend ceases shortly. Next burglary structure on August Sky. Unknown individuals entered 3 homes in the subdivision and stole several expensive breakers from the breaker box. This was given to the CID for further investigation.
So between Deltona and DeBerry, we've had a few of these D.R. Horton homes that are under construction where we believe is one of the workers or subcontractors that work for D.R. Horton. In our cases, none of the homes were broken in. They were all locked, so whoever was in the house had access to the house. We did set up cameras at the front of the new construction subdivisions. D.R. Horton is not reciprocating. We've asked them to install some safety measures. We've done search warrants for tower records to see who was in that area during the time of the theft. It's still an active case.
And the barrier, who's got the barrier? Tim, and show that you can really see the connection there with
two different new development subdivisions. One's Rivington, one's Riviera Bella. And it's pretty much the same, but during our canvas, we noticed that some of the residences were unsecured. Sliding doors were left unlocked. And during the canvas, the detective was able to just walk right in. So, but it's the same thing, circuit breakers, and we've checked all the social media and everything, unknown where they're going, what they're even doing with them, because they're only valued at $50 a piece, so it's not like a high dollar item.
Right.
But when they steal this amount, it becomes a little bit more. So,
What's interesting is the builders, you know, the more we do this, they leave the thing unlocked, and then they report, 10 places had their dishwashers taken out, they had their refrigerators taken out. Now it's the light switches. So, okay.
All right, we go to end of page 6. On to page 7, we have larceny on Albury Avenue. A victim advised he last left his vehicle in the driveway. In the morning, he observed the vehicle was no longer in the driveway. This was given to CID for further investigation.
So we were able to get a lead yesterday from Sanford Police Department. At the time, we got video surveillance showed two black juveniles, they seemed like juveniles, that pull up at the residence driving a stolen vehicle out of Sanford. This vehicle crashed in the city of Sanford shortly after we captured the vehicle in license plate reader, being followed by our stolen vehicle from Deltona. Sanford PD went on with them. Before they could identify them, they took off running. Yesterday, Sanford arrested a Zion Carter out of Sanford. The officer that initially went on with them positively identified him as the subject running from the stolen vehicle. And my detective is actually working right now on the arrest warrant, and he's currently in custody in Sanford, so he will be served with that arrest warrant today.
How old?
He's born in 2008, so 15.
2008. Well, on your way.
Next, we go to page 9, the end of it, we have a larceny car break. This stemmed from a further investigation as well. So Deputy Rogland identified the defendant as a suspect involved in several recent car burglaries, and while en route to the defendant's residence, a burglary was dispatched several houses away from the residence. This suspect was actually in the process of breaking into another car while we were going to try to interview them regarding additional car breaks. This is actually going to be related to several of the next car breaks, and I will let CID talk about it because I know that they had several on this one as well.
So I talked about this case earlier. This girl, she was a heroin addict. She lives in the area. She was walking around, breaking into cars, stealing whatever she could get. And in one case, again, the resident left the car unlocked, keys in it, so she drove off with the vehicle. She was charged with several of these car breaks. She's on video wearing the same clothing, same description. She admitted when we interviewed her to breaking into several cars, and she was charged with about 5 or 6 of these crimes.
Great job by Deputy Rogaliner. I mean, it's like the second or third time in just this.
Absolutely, yes.
She's just come up really big with these cases.
Yep.
Sheriff, may I say a word about this particular incident too?
Sure.
I want to tell you that the detectives that went out were these young women to a specific resident. She was blown away by the, and I'm going to use quotation marks, the new professionalism of how she was handled, the victim was handled in this instance. She said that she felt compassion from the investigators, that they had to get the victim's social security, or not social security, but thumbprint or prints, right, to disqualify them from that. But they explained to her why, took her through the whole process of why, and she just couldn't say enough about your investigators and your deputies that went out there to handle the situation. So you need to understand that whatever you're doing is working in the community because our residents feel safe, protected, and heard. So I just wanted all of you to know that. I think that I told Captain Powers and you that, Sheriff, but I need the whole team to understand what an impact when you're handling a victim like that, it makes a marked impact when they call you to tell you that. So I wanted to let your team know that.
Good morning and thank you. Did we steal her and take her to Bethune Beach and talk about the sharks?
Well, we're
Two girls. Get an extra gun.
All right, that'll bring us to page 11, the larceny car break on Lakefront Court. Victim observed his passenger window smashed out and several items were stolen. This was turned over to CID for further investigation.
This case is suspended. We did a neighborhood canvass. The area is very remote. There's no video cameras. There's no neighbors that witness anything. The laptop stolen does have GPS capability. If the thief turns it on, we might be able to get a location, but for now, we don't have any leads.
Okay.
The next two car breaks were already mentioned, previous one.
Yep.
So that'll bring us down to page 12, larceny car break, 2010 Apricot. Deputies responded to the report of an armed car break in progress. The incident was called in by a passerby who stated two masked individuals were breaking into the pickup truck. When deputies arrived, it was determined the pickup truck was rummaged through, but no items were taken. And through the investigation, we were not able to confirm whether it was actually an armed burglary or not, due to the circumstances. The victim on this did not want to pursue any charges, and to kind of touch on that is once a victim decides, I don't want to pursue charges, the case is closed. It's an unsolved case. And I know before that I've spoken and the sheriff has spoken about clearance rates and how those work. So this kind of goes against us in clearance rates. We'll never solve this case because the victim doesn't want it solved. They don't care. So when you see some of the clearance rates, and we actually have very good clearance rates in this city, but these are one of the ones that goes against us. So we'll never get to 100%. We'll never get that high because we do have victims that just say, I don't want to be a victim. Stop. So we're not going to spend time, resource, and money in investigating some of these crimes when there's going to be no outcome to it. This brings us to the next larceny car break on Fisher Drive. The victim advised 3 vehicles on their property were entered without permission, and numerous items were taken. The victim had surveillance cameras and caught 2 subjects in a driveway entering multiple vehicles. They were later contacted and arrested. They are from Deltona, born in 2005.
These were the little cherubs that tried to steal the car a little earlier in the evening, and then they couldn't get it, and then they went out and did these car breaks. These are the kids that were I talked about a little earlier. Elmer from June Court, Harrison from Acadian, Watkins from Bell Tower, and Spencer from Fisher. And some of them have pretty extensive juvenile histories.
Very, very extensive. Brings us to the next larceny car break on Dudley. Deputies responded to a possible larceny car break that just occurred. Through the investigation, we were to try to list some prints. However, the prints were of no value. There was no surveillance, no other further leads on this. This car break is suspended at this time until further information can be found on it. The next robbery is actually a domestic violence robbery. So during an argument between the two, he ended up taking her cell phone, battering her, which taking the cell phone is why it's looked at as a robbery. So it's not just a random crime robbery. It's nothing like that. It's something happens, they take it. But per our UCR, we have to label it as a robbery. So it's not a conventional robbery where most people would think of what a robbery is. We did obtain an arrest warrant on this, and we were looking for the suspect.
He does have an extensive criminal history, though. I mean, he's got 30 prior felony charges, felony arrests, 17 convictions, 18 misdemeanors with 10 convictions. So it just goes to show you, criminals do everything. Domestic violence, car breaks, sell dope.
The next robbery is also domestic violence related. It was, again, where the defendant had taken the victim's phone during the physical altercation. His criminal history is minimal. This was cleared by arrest. Robbery. The next robbery, the victim and the defendant planned to gather at the first defendant's residence to smoke marijuana and spend time together. Upon arrival, he discovered the presence of the second defendant, with whom he had a strained relationship with due to D2's involvement with illicit drugs. physical altercation took place between both defendants and the victim. The second defendant forcefully took the victim's wallet in his pocket, but the victim did manage to get it back. This was cleared by arrest. Both of them were taken into custody. Minimal criminal history on both of the defendants. Strong arm robbery. This is actually in Lake Harney in Osteen. The victim stated that the suspect committed an unprovoked attack on him. The victim was cooking outside when the suspect strangled the victim, struck the victim in the head with a closed fist and an unknown object, and forcibly taking the victim's cell phone. We were able to find the suspect and he was arrested. Aggravated stalking on Blackburn. The defendant has been repeatedly harassing the victims for no apparent reason for over the past month. The defendant has been standing in front of Myers' home, playing gunshot noises on a speaker, yelled at her, yelled at her family, played screaming noises over a speaker, hidden in a bush nearby, and fled when the victims saw them. And this is also occurring in the middle of the night for no apparent reason. We were able to make contact with him. He was arrested for aggravated stalking. The next, abuse and neglect. The victim believed he was suffering a stroke and called 911 seeking medical assistance. The defendant, who is the victim's sister and cares for the victim, has been increasingly frustrated with the victim's worsening condition and took the phone away from the victim before giving him a firearm and actively encouraging him to harm himself.
Class act.
Yes, the victim did shoot one round, not himself. He just shot it, but we were able to get there and take her into custody. Next, the aggravated assault was cleared by arrest. The aggravated battery is cleared by arrest. The next aggravated battery we have on page 18 on the victim exited her house to take the trash to the road, and when she returned inside, the defendant was standing inside with a loaded revolver. I'd like to say this was a great job done by the deputies on scene, the investigators that showed up. I think within an hour and a half, we had identified the suspect and taken him into custody. And I'll let them go a little bit more into detail on that.
So this was, our victim was in the middle of the day. She just walked outside to take her trash out. She works from home. She's in her office. She heard someone in her house. She walks out and sees this male bleeding with a firearm, and she yells, "Get out of my house." She retreats back to her room. He then follows her into her room, points the gun at her. Struggle ensues. She's able to fight him off to the front door. He tries to rip her out of the house. At that point, her screaming neighbors are coming out, and he flees on foot. He's picked up by a vehicle. Again, patrol deputies responded to the scene very quickly. Probably like within 45 minutes, they identified the vehicle. It was a street over, surrounded the house. They were able to order him out. He was taken into custody. Detectives did a search warrant on the home. While inside the home, we discovered that a shooting had occurred. Ultimately, he was in a meth stupor and lost his mind, chased his dad around the house, shot at his dad. His dad was able to hide in the bathroom. At that point is when he took off on foot, ran into our victim's home. We also did a second search warrant and found out the father was a convicted felon. We found trafficking amounts of narcotics and several firearms in the house. He was also arrested, and those were all seized.
Very good. Make sure you put everybody that's involved in for the appropriate recognition.
Yes, sir. Next to down the line, we have the domestic violence aggravated. We have 7 cleared by arrest, 1 warrant, 1 filed, and 1 pass on affidavit that we're still trying to locate. We have 4 simple batteries that were cleared by arrest. For simple DVs, we have 34 cleared by arrest and 4 pass on affidavits.
Very good. What else you got for the good of the order? Paul, you want to touch on our program where we're going to go with Nivens? What's coming forward?
Can we just do the
Yeah.
dispensaries first?
Yeah.
He's got a PowerPoint.
Okay. Go for it.
Can we put that PowerPoint up? So beginning in mid-May till early June, several agencies in Central Florida were dealing with car breaks at fire stations where vehicles were being broken in, forcefully being broken in, and firearms were being stolen. And a lot of firefighters carry firearms. They can't bring them into the fire station, so they leave them in their vehicles and they lock the vehicles. So these thieves are targeting the fire stations and stealing firearms. They're also stealing vehicles if one of the vehicles was, locked by the keys weren't it, they were stealing the vehicles. Then we found out that several dispensaries, cannabis dispensaries, were also being burglarized. And the Orlando Police Department identified a group of individuals in a apartment complex called Carver Shores. And it was about 18 of them. These individuals here were all arrested. 5 of them were arrested in Volusia County. The rest were arrested in Osceola, Orange County, and Orlando. They were responsible for about 61 car breaks, stolen vehicles, and burglaries of dispensaries. We did have several of these car breaks in the city of Deltona around May 23rd. We also had a burglary of the dispensary in Deltona on Deltona Boulevard. This is our area where they committed the burglaries. There was also 2 additional burglaries that occurred in the city of Daytona. All of them are tied to this particular group. We can go to the next slide. So these are all the cases. In addition to Deltona, they also hit the Berry. They did steal a bunch of cars there. All the cars were recovered in the city of Orlando. And if you see here, these are all the cases that all the different police departments and sheriff's office work. They're all related to this group, and there's approximately 61 of them. We can go to the second slide.
The Corvette was ours, I just saw that was the one stolen.
It was, and that was pretty brazen. They broke into one vehicle. They found the garage opener there. They opened the garage. One of them goes inside the garage and drives off with the Corvette. So the individuals I highlighted, they were all arrested on our burglaries. There's 5 of them. And in total, there was about 15, I believe, that were arrested out of this group of 18 people. And we worked very hard on this case because of the sheer amount of cases that all the agencies were working. We were literally sharing intelligence every day with every agency, sharing video surveillance, and we were able to identify a lot of these people based on their clothing, because they'll hit Deltona and they go back to Osceola County or Orange County and do the same thing. They're also responsible for the cell phone stores that we walk in masked and they steal all the phones from displays and they leave. So it goes to show you that criminals will do everything, like the sheriff said earlier. And all these individuals are from Orlando area, so they're coming here and committing crime and then leaving.
They're not just, people think, oh, surely a burglar, surely this. No, they do everything. I mean, look at just on that one slide, the amount of product that was taken. I mean, it's like $120-something thousand that they turn loose, they're selling out on the street or in the black market, just in the weed.
On our case, it was about $60,000 worth of product. Unfortunately, the dispensary there didn't have any alarm,
Right.
Which was
Surprising.
surprising, very surprising.
So
Go ahead, man.
So you find that the break-ins into the dispensaries are increasing? Because I see cookies out there. Isn't that a warehouse? I think in DeLand?
Cookies has a warehouse in DeLand, but they also have
No.
where they sell stuff as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That one's in Orange County, which is the charge there.
Oh.
Well, yeah, they're certainly increasing. I mean, as you see from the sheer amount of cases that we worked in the span of 1 month, I mean, there was dozens of dispensaries between Osceola County, Orange County, all the way to Daytona that were being hit. And like the sheriff said, they sell that product on the streets, and it's high-quality product for medical use. So they're making a lot of money. In addition to everything else that they're doing, they're stealing vehicles, they're stealing firearms. All of them are being sold on the street to other criminals.
You would think you would put your stuff in a safe at night, knowing that, hey, good chance of being burglarized and have a really good security system. But again, you're asking people to think that, protect my stuff here. Right, take a little responsibility. So, great job.
Yes, sir.
Great job. Anything else?
That was it.
All right. Thank you. I know you put a lot of work in on that. Paul, we're about to embark on a new technology here. You want to talk about that?
Yes, sir. Paul Cameron, captain of detectives. So NIBIN, National Integrated Ballistic Information Program, which is sponsored by the ATF. Boil it down, basically when we find shell casings from any type of crime scene, we would ship them all through FDLE. Then FDLE and ATF would analyze them to see if they can relate it to crime guns and different scenes and so forth. That historically takes 30 to 60 days right now because of FDLE's back. Because of your funding and initiatives, we purchased our own ICE machine, which is a machine that connects directly to ATF. And within 24 hours, we can have hits through the NIBIN system of crime gun. What we'll do then is the NIBIN hit, and the detective will be able to track down how they're related and historically find out how many different other types of crimes that are involved. So it's going to substantially expedite our cases.
You saw on the first case you talked about where we had the shooting, where the gun was recovered in Deltona and was tied back. And does anybody want to talk real quick about what happened in the land over Thanksgiving week, where all those shootings, and one of the guns in particular, the one that straight the house pin, if I'm not mistaken, was the AR that had the distinctive shell casings to it, that eventually got the gun and were able to clear all those shootings with it?
It was a couple of shootings, but 7.62 rounds, where the casings were left at the scene. It was the same case you're talking about. We executed some warrants later on, a few weeks after we recovered a weapon and projectiles matching the same cases that was left at the scene.
And as a result, we were able to clear a lot of those shootings that same gun was used. This one in particular, how the lady get killed, I don't know. Somebody's over 20 shots, right?
Which Ms. Betty,
And he shot through her house.
oh yeah, it was over 20 shots. And the 7.62 rounds went through and through a concrete brick house. Wow. She, by the grace of God, was laying on the couch and rounds were actually going over her head.
And that was in the middle of the day. That was in the middle of the day. That wasn't like nighttime. That was like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Correct.
So yeah, we're really excited about this because it talks to everything else. So somebody from Jacksonville will come down here and commit a crime and leave shell casings, and they get arrested in Jacksonville, then we'll be able to know if that gun was recovered in Jacksonville that matches those cases of the person who was arrested. So it's really, really good stuff. Who's good with Viper? Anybody good with talking about Viper program? No? All right. We are about to experiment with a brand new state-of-the-art gunshot detection system. I just signed a contract. What did you say? It's just your district benefit, bro. Ben's the commanding officer for the land.
Just the two bit Israel. So Viper is, I know it as shot spotter. Shot spotter. It's something, the technology is similar to that. So we're investing in this. It's going to be placed, we're going to try it out in the city and county areas of the land. It spans about a 2-mile radius, so you can set buffers. But what the technology does is there's a gunshot. If somebody fires around, shoots their gun somewhere, it detects that area. It narrows down or pinpoints that area. So resources can go directly there and start the investigation. It's phenomenal. They use it up in, I believe, New York or the northern states. And I'm glad they're trying it out in my district.
We're doing it because our most violent area, the most shootings that occur are in the land and in Spring Hill, which is us. So we kind of said, okay, this is where we have most of our shootings in gunplay. Let's install it in there and see how it works and see if it's something we can start to move out countywide. You want to talk about what you're doing with dispatch for Polk County? Go for it.
I'm Division Chief Morgan, support operations. Building on that, going full circle to the captain here, the shot spotter. So sometimes we'll never find a be tied to another crime somewhere we know we're going to. But also dispatch, currently we're looking at many programs. We're looking at a program now, we're going over to Polk County on the 25th to look at a program when you call 911 that it feeds live into the deputy's car, which will reduce response time. So you call in, the deputy hears, Tim Morgan, my wife is beating me, I need help now, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. They're hearing it live instead of waiting for a dispatcher to enter so they can start going to actually cut their call. And additionally, I'm over the academy, and I like to applaud Deltona. I want you to know, since we started the academy, we have 18 residents from Deltona who went through high school in Deltona and came into the Deltona system who are now deputy sheriffs. So I applaud you for that.
I don't want to call anybody else an embarrassment, but you want to introduce yourself there, Sergeant? This is one of our newly promoted sergeants. We leave it in Deltona.
I'm at the Sheriff's Office, newly promoted Sergeant Deputy Gadenzi. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 7 years, and I'm currently still on the traffic unit.
How long have you been assigned to Deltona?
I've been assigned in Deltona for my whole 7-year career.
Whole 7 years. Now you're fit to go to sergeant. So didn't you graduate from Pine Ridge?
I did.
There you go. Who said that? Yeah. Ah, yeah, okay. Thank you. Congratulations. You guys got any questions for us? Yes.
Is there an update on an overdose over by the Edgewater condos?
That was not an overdose.
It was not?
It was not an overdose. Eric, you want to jump in on that?
Yes, that turned out to be, the gentleman that was there was, I don't know if you remember some of the complaints we got about a homeless guy sleeping on the bench right outside there. She had let him in the house. He was having some medical issues. He was alert. And I won't say doing well, but he was alert. It did not appear to be narcotics related, and they took him to the hospital. Maybe just some heat issues from being outside.
But that was the homeless guy.
That, yes, and it is complaint residents, but it did not appear to be anything that had to do with overdose.
There'll be a resolution to that shortly. That's all I can say. Yes, sir.
No question, but some commentary. This was very productive. Thank you so much for this.
Can you identify yourself?
Okay. I'm Tom Burbank, Deltona City Commissioner, District 1. And as I said, this was very productive. And I think when it's purely selfish reasons, why don't you all buy that bank building in Deltona Plaza, make that a substation, take care of that box store?
I like that idea. Actually, you guys didn't buy that. The sheriff's not allowed to buy property.
Okay, there were voices that heard this, and I can't talk about it anymore. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you that this was sensational.
I'm glad. I will tell you, and I think the sergeant back there is proof of that, and this guy's proof of it, that our theory is if you want to get anywhere in this organization, you have to go out and perform, be an outstanding performer in the city of Deltona moving forward. So we want to make sure that we're sending the best and the brightest out here, and that they move through their career. They all cycle back. How many of you guys started in Deltona and going back now as supervisors?
As a long-term resident, it warms my heart to have your team live here, work here, they're invested here.
Thank you. Absolutely.
I think we have 5 former captains in this building right now from Deltona, since I've been here, right? Yeah.
Well, you're the largest city. What this Frank Sinatra say about New York, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. If you can make it in Deltona, you can make it anywhere in this county. Mary, anything? I know you're a newly minute dad. You're probably not sleeping at night. No. Congratulations. Sometime I'll get you back for getting me in the pie eating contest. But the 4th of July, you guys did, for those of you who weren't out there, as usual, your 4th of July was fantastic. It really, really was. You guys did a great job with that. I don't know if you're interested to hear about the beach, but everybody talks about the beach. Lieutenant Cobb, since you are the assistant commander, you want to, as you can tell, he is doing his David Hasselhoff invitation there with his shorts and his shirt.
I'm Lieutenant Brian Cobb. I'm the assistant commander of our newfound District 1 Coastal it's some wrinkles and hiccups that we've been ironing out, and we're getting all of our equipment in to do a very proactive and productive job out there. The guys are working hard. We're about to get some of our new deputies that we hired from Beach Safety down there as well. And we made it through 3 of the busiest holidays on the beach, and all of them were productive, where we netted a number of arrests. We got guns, drugs, violent people off the street, as well as are off the beach, and as well as also utilizing our county ordinances just to ensure everybody can go down there and enjoy a good time, and not really have any fear of violence and things that plague the community. So far, everything's been going very well, and hopefully we'll finish up on that same note.
From my perspective, I think what was interesting was the number of sex offenses that we're seeing down there. The guys just doing their thing in front of little kids or in front of women. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely an issue, and we hit that priority number 1. We actually lobbied for some ordinances to help us defeat that as well. It's typically a transient problem. People that are homeless in the area, they'll avoid the beach is a free bathtub and a place to stay throughout the day. And there are some ordinances that help regulate that, and we're also lobbying for some better ones. But for the time being, we probably made about 15 arrests for various lascivious issues in the Deltona Beach and Morgan Beach area.
Great. Say good morning to the city manager, Jim Chisholm. Congratulations, he's a newly minted 4th of July baby grandfather. So a lot of births going on in this room. I gotta get after it. So, if anybody has any other questions, I really appreciate you coming out this morning. And Maritza, thank you so much. And Sarge for last night. I think, I don't want to say what Maritza said, but it just was, people walked out of here and really saw a different perspective of what's going on with fentanyl, what we're doing, and what we can do better as a community. So.
We had to do a New York disco thing, lights on and off.
Gotta go. You gotta go.
They did to me last night. That's somebody in the back of the room going like this. That was the get out of here. We're done.
Yeah, but it was very interesting. Very interesting.
Sir, you got anything?
Have a great day.
All right. And so, yes, ma'am.
I got a long day ahead of me.
So do I.
It's been a little hard hearing everybody because nobody's using much of their microphones. But I've been in Deltona since November 1972. I've addressed this problem before, and we might need to speak separately. But the car racing that's occurring on Sacramento Street, Voyager, and Anderson parallel, when a guy almost hits me 2 feet away because he's spinning out, is an issue with our children. We're also having issues with solicitation, even though we've got no trespassing, no solicitation, no loitering. When you have people coming up and just banging on your door and demanding you talk to them about that, parking on your property, leaving their vehicle to go solicit to houses for an hour or two, or people just parking their other vehicles out on the street, causing a hazard.
How about we do this? I'm going to hook you up with the captain, because I don't know if you ever called 911 about these things.
I went to your substation in Deltona to address and ask additional.
I'm going to hook you up with the manager to make that happen. The captain of the district. Okay? So hang out.
But I do appreciate law enforcement, had it in my family. We know what y'all do and the risk of going out every day and coming home. So I've been a wife of law enforcement, so I truly understand. But the crimes and the things that are occurring in Deltona is a shame, and it's scary for all of us nowadays.
I don't think a lot of people share that opinion, but it's your opinion, and I respect it, and I will hook you up with the captain, and we will work on a plan to help you alleviate your issues. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ladies, for everything. You guys have a great day. Yes, ma'am.
One last. I was a commissioner way back in 2005 to 2010, and then I remember when you came in, I was no longer a commissioner anymore, but you hit the ground running, and I just want you all to service I've seen done by our
Well,
sheriff.
thank you. We have a lot of great people